Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we discuss a model line launched in 2011. The example in my hand retailed in 2019. It is the De Bethune DB25 Perpetual Calendar. And for many years, the only way to get a Salmon dial on a De Bethune watch was to get it this way, with a platinum case. 44 millimeters in diameter, it's 12.7 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 51.5 millimeters. The spacing between the lugs is 24 millimeters. We'll throw this on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. And you can see it's a large watch, but the strap is not broken in, so I'm pulling it fairly tight. This actually will fit on my wrist. Here's your down the barrel look. Here's your over the top, which kind of exaggerates the width of the watch. But this will fit on a wrist of 16 centimeters circumference like mine, and of course larger. You can also see that it's not as thick as you might imagine. It's cylindrical in profile, but it sits low. It will slide under a dress cuff. Now, don't take this strap too literally. It's demonstrative only. I believe this is synthetic alligator and a strap we use for shipping from continent to continent to get around various kinds of treaties that limit the trade in alligator and crocodile. But it is an actual Jean Rousseau hand-cut, hand-stitched strap, and Jean Rousseau is the OEM supplier to De Bethune for straps. So if you actually want this combination of calfskin and synthetic gator, we can definitely ship it to you. Taking a look on the bottom, we have pull-tab spring bars. You can remove the strap without any tools. De Bethune matching platinum buckle. De Bethune making its cases, dials, and movements. Not just movements, all three major components. At De Bethune, the buckle generally echoes the design of the lugs. And so you can see here we have lugs that are fixed. They're not elaborate and articulated and spring-loaded like on a 26, 27, or a 28 here. They're fixed in place. They are evacuated, so they're hollow and elegant. We have this little bullet tip at the end, the last styling vestige of the original De Bethune watch, the DB1 chronograph from 2002. You'll find this little motif on most De Bethune watches through the years. Pusher adjusters for the calendar system. It should be mentioned that there is a quick set, however, that can be used to adjust the date, and by means of adjusting the date, it will also drive the month display. We have a moon phase. Just below that is the leap year phase indicator, and then we have pushers on the side that are used to adjust the day and the moon phase. Taking a look, you can see that the dial is salmon and lush and gorgeous. All the printing's in dark blue for a nice warm contrast. You can see it's a multi-piece dial, and that's actually quite nicely balanced. You can chop it right down the middle, and it has bilateral symmetry almost perfectly. In fact, it almost has cruciform symmetry. You can reflect it top to bottom or side to side. It's almost identical. We have fired hands, and you can see that the leaf hands have been rolled and cambered so that they will fit over the voluminous bimetallic spherical moon phase. Now, this is a perpetual calendar, so no need to make any adjustments until the year 2100. The moon phase has a longer interval of adjustment. From the point you adjust it to the next time you must correct it is 122 years. Now, it's a sphere, one half white palladium, one half fire blued steel. They both start white, and then the sphere is fired over a bed of brass shavings using an oil lamp. One half turns blue, and so that's how you get a true representation of the moon, which is, after all, spherical. Also important, the guilloche. You can see we have this rosette pattern at center. That's real lathe guilloche. It's not stamped. And then you can see there's also a border pattern, a little bit of a barleycorn. The watch does feature automatic winding, twin barrels, self-adjusting. That is a patented system. Everything you see on the back that's blue is matte-fired titanium. That includes the balance wheel. The balance is patented. We have an exceptionally large movement, 30 millimeters in diameter, and a large rotor length. So the lever arms of the rotor are broad, which makes for a very vigorous winding. And then the mass is made of white gold. But to protect it from the kind of shock that could cause it to torque back and forth rather than just rotate, we have this patented spring system where we have 4 cantilever springs, each with 3 anti-friction jewels, that helps to make it a more efficient winder. Beats weight 4 hertz, a very advanced combination of 1, 2, 3 shock protection springs, that's patented, on a balance that is made of white gold and blued titanium, that's also patented, and a hairspring curve that is shaped manually, and that curve itself is also protected by patent. The twin self-adjusting barrels, again patented. A standard version without the perpetual calendar would be a 6-day power reserve. With the perpetual calendar, this is a 5-day power reserve. And of course, you've got this patented shock protection system for the rotor. If you look at the triple parachute, you'll realize that we have Inca block at the center and then flanking steel springs. Those springs are actually satinated on their top and micro-beveled on their sides, but the idea here is not just to prevent damage, but to actually use shock protection as a means of creating a better timekeeper. The balance is designed to reduce the impact of temperature change on timing, express as much of the total mass in the rim as possible, which has chronometric advantages, and then also to the extent possible to minimize the effect of aerodynamic drag on the balance itself. There's a silicon escape wheel of De Bethune's own design. You can see that the company uses a media blasted base plate, that we have snailing on the mass itself as well as on the top of the barrel with the recesses media blasted. All this 30 meters water resistant, and again, 5 days of power reserve, very, very shock tolerant, uncommon in a high dress complication. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.